Hi, welcome to Take a Notion. Welcome to my channel. Um, appreciate you coming back and watching. Today we are sewing more curves. What else is there in a double wedding ring but curves? We are taking this piece and we are taking these pieces and we're going to sew these together. So come along and let's do this. Let me show you what it's going to look like. It's going to look like this when we get it done. So, yay. We're going to do this. It's easy. Don't panic. I always wondered until I bought that pattern, and I will leave a link to this pattern again in the description box. I'm going to leave a link to my pressing mat, my favorite scissors, the AccuQuilt Go cutting system, and the die that I've used to create this pattern. And then you can follow along. You can also go and watch the lady that I got the pattern from. She has a YouTube video. And what is happening? I have bought a new recording system. Well, I got a new phone and I got a gimbal stabilizer and everything, and I'm in a new mic system, so bear with me. This is like the fourth time I've tried to record this video. I either don't have the thing recording or I don't have the mic on or something. So just bear with me. Maybe this time I'll get it right. I'm sure that a lot of you, if you are content creators and watching my channel, that you understand these problems. So come along and let's do this. I'm going to pull this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So just like on the other times that we've recorded or we've sewn curves, we have lined up our little arrows. See the little arrow right there? And this is the arrow that you're going to want to line up. Line that up. And when you get over here to this particular, to the squares on the corners, you're going to want to take that end piece, this little piece right here, and you're going to want to go like a quarter of an inch beyond. Quarter of an inch beyond that seam. Just like that. And you're going to pin it all the way across. You can't never use too many pins when you're sewing a big curve like this, in my opinion. But some of you may be very confident with curves. I've heard people say they're confident with curves. I'm not that confident with curves, and I want this to be a #1 perfect. So And remember that I said from the outside of the presser foot, to the needle is 1/4 inch. So you can use that as a guide. Okay. And you can sew over your pins, just be very careful. Some people take them out as they go. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on how bad the curve is. Sometimes I just sew over it and just be very careful. I have hit a pin before and broke my needle, so I'm very careful. Automatic thread cutter. Just remember to take your foot off the foot pedal, because it will scare you if you accidentally push it with your foot and you're like, wait, what's going on? What did I hit? So yeah, I've trying to learn the habit of resting my foot either on my sewing chair, or because I've had to use a box to put my foot pedal on because I'm so short. And I'm clipping that seam because it is a curve, so it'll lay correctly. See? And I have my pressing mat here beside me. I'm just going to reach over because I've learned the hard way through all of this that having a stack of 100 and something things to iron, it's a little bit daunting. So I'm trying to learn to press as I go. And it is raining. Okay, now when we put on the second one, we got to make sure that we've got the right color of this square here at the end facing up, and you've got it oriented the right way. Okay. And again, we are going 1/4 inch over. Okay, sorry, I had to read a message. Okay. And that, going over 1/4 inch over that seam. Okay, we got that, got it pinned again. Remember, start in the middle, pin the edges, and then pin the rest of it. And like right here, I'm going to put a pin because I want that to stay lined up. And it's okay if you have 25 pins. I wouldn't put 25 in there, but a good 8 or 10 is, pretty reasonable. lifting that presser foot with my knee lift on my machine. I'll also leave a link to my machine that I'm using, which is a pretty nice machine, by the way. It also can be used on the Cutie Breeze quilting frame from the Grace Company, and it will turn itself into a long arm quilter. So that's going to be cool because I have one of those coming. It should arrive on Friday, and I will do a review of it when I go to set it up to kind of play with it. Going to clip that seam again. Just be careful. Don't clip your stitches. I have done that and been not noticed and gotten all the way through my project, and yeah, it was not great. I'll take this and I'm going to press it, and got my little pressing mat and iron right here beside my machine. Yay! Let's do one more. Let's do one more. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to give it a good little press right here on my mat, so we know that it's all pressed out and doesn't have any wrinkles in it. Just sews better. Fabric sews better if you've got it, and it cuts better if you've got it ironed. I know that's another one of those things that takes so much time. Yeah, it does take time. So, make sure. Oh, let's see. I need to make sure that I've got everything going correctly. There we go. All right. Gonna line up those little arrows again. And then kind of turn it back over. We're going to pin the sides. Make sure the end is over that seam by about 1/4 of an inch, because you're going to be sewing another ring piece to the top, and it's got to have a little bit of fabric too for it to be sewed to that white piece. So that's why we do that. Okay. All right. And pin the rest of the way. I like to pin, make sure that all the edges are aligned and that there's a place between two pins that looks like it's not quite aligned. I'm going to pull that up and align it and pin it. The way you have a beautiful seam, so you can have a masterpiece. So the Cutie Breeze quilting frame is from the Grace Company. I'll try to leave a link to their website in the description box. And They have a lot of nice stuff. Something I really want that's probably going to take me several years to save for, but you can turn your machine into an automatic long arm. You just put the pattern in there, scan it in, and it just quilts it itself instead of you having to take the arms and drive your machine around. Foot off the pedal so I don't automatically stomp on it and make the automatic thread cutter cut again. I can't tell you how many times I've done that since I've gotten this machine, and I've tried to develop a habit of, after I cut the thread, to move my foot off of the pedal. Well, see there, we've got a little bit of a bunch right there. I'm not going to be happy with that. So I'm going to take my trusty seam ripper and I'm going to rip that little part of the seam. I'm getting into the habit to where if there's something like that going on and I don't like it, that I automatically just take care of it right then. Don't set it aside. Just keep your seam ripper handy and take care of the problem right then. And we took care of that little problem. Or maybe we did. No, it's still there. Okay, so let's rip it again. I can't tell you how many times I've had to do something over and over and over and over until I get it just right. Might have needed to rip it a little further. There. I'm thinking that might do it that time. It just didn't rip the seam far enough, I think. And just keep your finger on there and smooth out your fabrics. Okay, let's look and see. Okay. I have had to rip out seams more than one time on one particular place. So, but, you know, My mama always said, if something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. Not gonna be happy unless it's right. It will bug me. Now then, bam, we did it. I just didn't rip that seam long enough. So let's clip those seams. And see, we took care of that problem right then. And for all my boasting about pinning seams, I still do on occasion make mistakes. And everybody makes mistakes. I don't care who you are, in my opinion. If you're experienced, you probably just make fewer mistakes than everybody. Who knows? I am in no means an expert seamstress. I consider myself an intermediate seamstress, or as they like to say now, a sewist. But that's also spelled like a sewer. Sewist. I don't know. I prefer seamstress. I know some people personally that I think are expert or advanced seamstresses, and my hat's off to them and I applaud them. Okay, so again, we're going to make sure that this green one is pointed this way, okay? So we got red on this side, and now we're going to have green on this side, okay? And when we get this set done, we are going to be doing the opposite. The green is going to be on the left and the red is going to be on the right. And they will be opposite. That way you can, and I've also been, if you'll see, sometimes there's a little bit of overhang. I've been kind of evening those up a little bit. A little bit of overhang off of that seam. That way the other arcs will have a little bit of fabric in that corner. And it won't pull out, because once you get 4 blocks in that one corner, they could pull out pretty easy if you don't have enough fabric for them to grab onto. And there's enough there. And I've got to check this message. I'm sorry. All right. Sorry about that. So we're going to pin that just like that. Pin it all the way across. Make sure that the edges are correct. Your pieces have right sides facing. And you're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Line that up. If you leave your pins in, remember to go slow over them. You can also take them out as you reach And you're sewing along when you get right before your presser, the, the tips of your presser foot hit that pin, just remove it. And remember, when you get done, check your seam. If something is pinched or bunched, I recommend you take your seam ripper and you rip it like I had to 2 or 3 times. And that way it looks, that's just a recommendation. I'm not telling y'all what to do. But for me, that's what I do. And that way when I get to the final product, I don't have, oh, I got to go rip that seam and do that. I got to do, I've taken care of it right then and it's done. It's over. We're going to clip this seam. Remember, just little clips right there at the edge of the fabric. Don't clip through your seam. This just allows the fabric to spread and lay nicer. See, I don't even know where that became a thing at. Might have to do an internet search on who first discovered clipping fabric seams. Okay, and here we have it. And we have our piece. That's 2 that we've done. I'm going to continue on and I'm going to do these and I'll do the other set. And when we get all these done, then we're going to lay it out. I'm trying to think of a place to lay it out where the cats won't walk on it. That's my life. Life with cats. So, and then we'll get an idea of what it's going to look like all sewn together. And I'm going to have to do some more research on how to sew them together, and because I think that's going to be a little bit tricky. But we'll do it together. We'll tackle it together. Again, thank you for joining me today. Thanks for supporting and liking my channel. Subscribe and share it. And remember, when we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to have a giveaway. I've got something already picked out in mind, and it's going to be sewing related. But thank you again for all your support. And as always, have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.